Hello, Geek Impulse fam. Welcome to Geek Impulse News. Today we're going to talk about several things. One of those things is anime, the other one's gaming, and then we're going to get into a little bit of technology stuff, and then we'll jump into some other random geek stuff. Geek Impulse here, what we do is we're a brand for geeks. We're a community for like-minded individuals who love all different types of aspects of geek culture. So we're here to talk about those things and give you the news and insights on the industry and new things that are coming out and what's going on for the day. We do have a podcast. You can check that out. If you want something on a more daily basis, you can check out geekimpulse.us. We post articles daily and keep you up to date there. We do the best we can with that. We want to try to make this a video every single day. However, I don't know if I could do it every day, but maybe a couple days a week, along with other kinds of videos that we'll post on here. With that being said, a lot of people have been wondering what I look like. I know people saw me on social media, but I guess instead of narrating on over videos and photos, they actually want to see my face giving the information. So I didn't want to do that. I'm just not very photogenic, and I'm a little camera shy. However, I guess I'll jump on there, and of course, this behind me looks pretty cool probably. However, yes, it is a green screen behind me, so I'll be doing that. I do say we because we do have a team here at Geek Impulse, but they do a lot of other things. We're a small organization. I mostly do the video editing, chopping things up, putting it together. We have IT guys, web guys. We have people that are article writers, things like that, authors. So we have quite a few people here. However, mostly of this stuff is going to be done by me, and eventually, as we grow, hopefully we get into a studio. That's what we're looking forward to doing. So with that being said, I'm just going to shut up, and I'm just going to get into the news. And so today we're going to talk about a few things, like I said, and we're going to start with anime. And the first thing we want to talk about is what's going to be airing on NHK on April 9th, 2018, and that is a new adaptation called Piano no Mori. That's pretty cool anime. It's more like a slice of life type of thing, but it involves a guy named Kai who comes across a mysterious piano in a forest, and in doing so, he also encounters a former genius pianist, and that's kind of a mouthful to say. However, the guy's name is Sasuke Ajino, the genius pianist, and as well as another person by the name of Shuhei Amamiya. And hopefully I said that correctly. My Japanese isn't as good as it once was when I was back in college. However, I am relearning Japanese, so if I slaughter the names, I do apologize. I know some people are going to be like, "Oh my God, you suck." So, but that's okay. At least you get to see the journey. You get to see us grow here at Geek Impulse, including myself, and hopefully you'll understand all the work that goes into this. So again, that's going to be there. Let me shut up and more about that. It's going to foster. He helps foster. The genius pianist helps foster Kai's talent and gets him to eventually blossom with that talent, and he ends up competing in what's called the International Chopin Piano Competition, and that's kind of where the story picks up and really starts getting good. So if you like a piano like me, great. I love it. I don't know how to play it, but I will be learning that someday soon. It is a goal of mine. So with that being said, let's get into the next thing, and that is Fooly Cooly. For those of you who may not know what Fooly Cooly is, it's better known as FLCL. It has built a cult following. That's going to be back on Adult Swim, the Adult Swim block for Toonami. And that's coming in June and September, I believe. You have, because it's been 17 years since the anime came out, and there was only 6 episodes. For those of you not too familiar, just real quick, so basically there's a girl named Haruko, and what she does is she's basically drives a motor scooter carrying around a Rickenbacker 4001 bass guitar, and what she does is she ends up hitting a kid on the head by the name of Naota, and by doing so, when she hits him on the head, he ends up opening up a portal, and in this portal you have giant robots that emerge periodically, and they basically have to fight them. So the first one in June, I'm looking at my notes right here, in June will be, that season will be dubbed FLCL Progressive, whereas the one in September will be under a different moniker, FLCL Alternative. So definitely check those out. And something really cool, real quick, I found out that why is a Super Saiyan's hair for Dragon Ball? Why is the hair, white? Why isn't it like black or something like that? Why does it go to the color that it does, right? Why does it turn blonde, white, whatever you want to call it? Well, apparently, from the creators, it explains that it's because it's a difficult labor. It's very intensive to color the hair black in manga, which I guess does make sense. So when a Super Saiyan's hair turns gold, it can remain white in a typical black and white manga manuscript, so it makes it a lot easier. And making hair blonde also simplifies the design and eliminates some finer details. Therefore, the change in the colors and the cuts, it really cuts back on labor involved in creating the character appearances. So that's why Super Saiyans go blonde. So now you know. Next, we're going to get into this anime, which is called Happy Sugar Life Horror Manga. And it's finally getting a TV adaptation in July. The April issue of Square Enix's Gangan Joker magazine was the one that revealed it on Thursday that Tomoyuki Kagesura, Happy Sugar Life manga, is inspiring a television anime adaptation, and the anime will premiere on MBS and other networks in July. So look forward to that. So what is it about? Just for those of you who are not too familiar, you have the fact that it's a psychological horror manga, and the story centers around on a beautiful high school girl named Sato Matsuzaka, who believes she has finally found the meaning of love when she begins living with a younger girl. Previously, Sato never refused the advances of any guy around her, but that changes when she meets the girl Shio. The background and age of the mysterious girl are unclear. When Sato is with Shio, she experiences a very sweet feeling, which she understands as love. In order to protect that feeling, Sato is willing to do anything, even if it means committing murder. So, looks pretty exciting. So, if you're into horror anime, this could be the one for you. And excuse me for a second. I know this video is getting kind of long, and it's going to go a little bit longer. But I'm just going to go in and drink my coffee here. I love coffee. Next, let's get into gaming. Gaming, yes. I want to talk about something that I think is pretty cool. I saw it on geek.com, so I guess you can call it my competition. That's fine, what have you. I saw it and I thought it was pretty cool, and I figured I'd share it with you guys here. And some people don't really know, but they're going to be watching Player One, and Player One is awesome. If you get it, if you don't want to read it, the book, you can get it in audio format, and I recommend getting the audio done for the book by Will Wheaton. Will Wheaton reads it, and it's incredible. If you get any other audio version, it's gonna suck. You get the one with Will Wheaton, it's freaking amazing. So definitely get that. So we're gonna get into some of the lingo. So those of you who might not be completely familiar can get updated with some of the terminology. Like I said, you can find out on geek.com. Respawn was one of them, and of course, respawning is where you're brought back to life. Pretty simple enough. Easter eggs. Easter eggs are, objects, or they are jokes that developers and creators hide within the games. So that's something important to know because it's centered around an Easter egg. For those, I don't want to spoil the story, but that's that. Then you have NPCs, which are called non-playable characters. These are usually AI-controlled characters. So these are usually the computer characters that you encounter within a game. A raid. So a raid is usually special missions with multiplayers. You team up with your friends or other people online, and there's challenges, and the player can't necessarily do it on their own or overcome it, so they need the help of others. There's PvP, or player versus player. This is different than PvE, player versus environment, because you're actually going up against other people, and their skill levels might be better or not than yours, and that kind of influences the outcome. Then you have aggro. Aggro is usually in with regards to monsters and other characters that become very aggressive. So that definitely something you want to understand. Buff. This is actually something I didn't know, so this is actually pretty cool. Buff is a beneficial status effect that boosts attributes for you and your party. So like increased health, increased defense, increased attack damage, these types of things. I wasn't aware that existed, so that was pretty cool. Even I learned something, and I've been a pretty avid gamer for a very long time. Probably something that's super important that I want to talk about, and that is Microsoft has recently announced its plan for getting 2 billion gamers around the world to subscribe to their new service. So recently, in an interview on The Verge, a Microsoft Xbox team member released some information about the company working on a service that would function similarly to Netflix, but for video games. The service would offer users access to games in a variety of developers, including Microsoft and other major platforms, to stream any title that's available in the marketplace to the player's device of choice, of course. This means if you want to play Call of Duty, Black Ops on your Nintendo DS, XL, or if you want to play Animal Crossing on your PlayStation, you'll be able to do so with this. So that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty amazing. If they could pull it off, who knows, because cross-platform is something we've been wanting for a long time. They're definitely looking to do that with Fortnite. And these are things you can also find on geekimpulse.us. Just so you know. And then let me go ahead and get into another thing, and I thought it was pretty cool. It's pretty impressive. For those of you outside the U.S. That might not be familiar, but those of you who are, there's a state called Texas, and Texas does everything big. And this particular bit of news is centered around a gaming arena. So Arlington, Texas, which is known for the University of Texas at Arlington, the Texas Rangers, the Dallas Cowboys, or the WNBA team, Wings. I don't really watch WNBA, just not interested. The city, however, is set its new sights on actual competitive gaming entertainment. And so they've recently announced plans to build a state-of-the-art esports stadium, and the esports stadium will be about 100. They're claiming about 100,000 square feet, so that's pretty big. Well, in Texas, you go big, go home. That's kind of what we know. They're anticipating to open the doors this fall in Arlington's world-class entertainment district. It's really cool. You can find out more. I have an article on there on geekimpulse.us, and it goes into greater detail, as well as you can see an actual video that they created that kind of gives you what they're expecting it to look like. So it's pretty cool. One of the coolest things that I like is something that will probably be announced in E3 this year, and that's Atari is creating what's called the Atari Box they developed. And it's actually really cool if you look at the designs and everything. So at the moment, there are only 2 designs that Atari has announced, and they are sleek wooden model and black and red version. I like the sleek wooden model, but the black and red version is actually super cool, especially the way it lights up. There's a lot of secrecy involved around it, but it looks really cool. I also have an article. I know I keep plugging my website, but a lot of this stuff we write articles about, and it is there, so you can check that out. It's going to feature HDMI and SD ports along with USB ports, so pretty cool. I'm super excited about it, so check that out. Now we're going to transition to something a little bit different. We're going from gaming, and we're going to talk about technology. I only got one thing that I'm going to talk about today. In the interest of time, because this is kind of long video already, and that is the charming billionaire Elon Musk. So what is he doing? He is creating, and they've already got it. He mentioned something back in January about. Here's his tweet right here. He says, "Going to put an old drive-in roller skates and rock restaurant at one of the new Tesla supercharger locations in LA." And, well, that place happens to be Santa Monica, California, right on Route 66. The address will be 1401 Santa Monica Boulevard. That's currently where the used car lot for Volvo is. It'll be Yeah, so they've already got the permit application, and Tesla is going to open up the supercharger station. They've already got one in Kettleman City, California. I've lived in California for a long time, and glad to be out of California just because I don't want to be there. But California, born and raised, and I didn't even know Kettleman City, what it was or where it existed, but apparently it's there. And there's already a supercharger station with like 40 charging stations for Tesla, so that's pretty cool. Now I'm going to jump out of that, and we're going to transition into a little bit of random geek stuff. And what I want to talk about is what's currently going on with Rick and Morty. As you know, it took 18 months to get season 3. I love Rick and Morty. I didn't find it until season 2, and then so I didn't see the first season. Season 2 came out. I didn't want to watch season 2, so I went back, watched season 1, then came back, saw season 2. Then waited 18 months for season 3, and now we're looking at waiting forever for season 4. It hasn't been picked up. There was rumors about YouTube Red attempting to pick that up and use it for their platform, but it doesn't look like that's going to be. I mean, if from a business standpoint, if Adult Swim didn't pick that up for another season when it's like pretty much their biggest moneymaker right now, Rick and Morty, then that's not a very smart business decision. I'm just going to leave it at that. So, but they've been giving us some cool stuff. So if you're familiar with Run the Jewels, I definitely say check them out. They gave us a really cool music video, and so to kind of hold us over, and so we check that out. I have an article about it again on the website, so you can check that out. And the reason why I'm talking about that is because I'm going to segue into something that's pretty cool. If you love Adult Swim, I've watched Adult Swim for a very long time. They are doing the first annual Adult Swim Festival, and it'll be October 6th and 7th in Los Angeles at the Row in downtown LA. There will be a preview night the day before it starts, which is Friday night, October 5th. As I say here on their website, the first ever Adult Swim Festival is coming to the expose. To expose your eardrums, I misspoke. To electrifying music and exciting comedy acts in downtown Los Angeles. Some of the acts they're talking about is Run the Jewels, of course, who is headlining, and many more music acts to come. They haven't really mentioned too many of them, so super cool if you want to check that out. All right, Geek Impulse fam, that's it for today. Again, if you like this video, be sure to give it a like. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Check it out. Hit me up on social media. You can find me on Twitter and Snapchat at luxury_geek, all one word. If you want, you can find us on Instagram at Geek Impulse, as well as on Facebook.com/Geek Impulse. With that being said, Geek fam, I'll check you all later. And remember, live for the flips. Peace.